Good morning. Welcome to TMI Socials. I am Anya Stevens. Now let's find out what's trending on social media. Well, this morning we started with a very sad story where we saw Adamawa state trending. We saw that fire gutted 2 petrol-laden tankers at an Mrs. Filling station along the Numan Road, opposite the Jezco filling station near Yola International Airport on Tuesday. Well, the road leading into Yola, the state capital, was blocked as curious residents of the area rushed out to catch a glimpse of the inferno, ignoring the inherent danger. It was said the 2 fuel tankers have been consumed by the fire as of press time, but men of the fire service arrived at the scene. Security personnel also arrived at the scene to secure the area. Let's have a glimpse of how it was like in Yola. Well, really gory, if you ask me, and really sad as well. Let's see how you took this sad story online. This user says, I think the quality of petrol currently in circulation in Nigeria is questionable. Another user on Facebook says something else. Emmanuel, either they have started fight against Dangote fuel or he's fighting to dominate. This isn't just normal anymore. In a month alone, every week, when 2 elephants fight, the ground suffers. They should stop using people's life to test power. Well, still on the story, another user says something else. For those of you saying something must be done to check the petrol, some filling stations managers are stubborn and don't abide by the rules. Discharging fuel at noon when the temperature is high is not safe. Fuel is meant to be discharged at low temperature. Is that all we have on this? Okay, finally on the story, Sani says, the quality of our petroleum should be checked as soon as possible to assess its standards because the level of having tankers explosion here and there is questionable. Well, away from that story, let's move over to my second story for you for today. To let you know that the Federal Executive Council, FEC, has approved 4.5 billion naira for the procurement of HIV treatments to support Nigerians living with HIV AIDS. Well, this decision follows the U.S. government's emergency humanitarian waiver, which overturned a previous funding pause on HIV treatment in developing nations, including Nigeria. The funding suspension was initially implemented under an executive directive by former U.S. President Donald Trump as part of a broader foreign aid review. Well, how the netizens take this online, funny reactions, I must say, but let's have a couple of tweets regarding the story. This user on Instagram says, thank God though, HIV no good to spread. Nigerians got no chill at all. Another user says, okay, Onyechi Chuku is saying, this is good. At least they are paying attention to the health sector. Right, if you say so. Well, at this rate, this is sheer greed or selfishness. Everything to milk the Commonwealth. People will still defend this. Where are we heading as a nation? Since this guy is not satisfied at all. And finally, this user says, how I wish people suffering from the illness will benefit from this money. Well, fingers crossed, hopefully they will. Well, away from that, the former Minister of Aviation, Femi Fani-Kayode, also known as FFK, has expressed relief following the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC's acquittal in a medical forgery case against him. Well, he said, and I quote, I thank God for my family and my children. 4 criminal cases by the EFCC in the space of the last 18 years has been quite an ordeal for me because it hurt my family, my career, my business, my everything. Earlier on Tuesday, a special offences court sitting in Ikeja, the Lagos state capital, acquitted and discharged Fani Kayode of the charge of medical forgery leveled against him. Now let's see a trending video of Fani Kayode entering into the court premises in Ikeja. FFK right there. Anyways, the small little film for me. How did you take this online? Let's take a look. This user says, the way he appeared in court today, that was like yesterday, proved beyond reasonable doubt that he went there for a courtesy visitation to the judge in disguise of standing trial. Although court has declared him innocent, trying a politically exposed person with strong affiliations with the mighty in Nigeria, where rule of law is for the poor and those the system wants to deal with because of their personal interest is a charade. Okay, another user says, Obinna on Facebook, does EFCC have the capacity to persecute political and influential class? Only Yahoo boys. EFCC have the capacity to persecute and link them to the offense. Right, still in this bit, Ben says, congratulations, sir. You may not have landed any appointment so far, but your decamping is no longer in vain. Your decamping is no longer in vain to the APC. Well, finally, on TMI Socials today, Nasarawa State University, KEFI, has rusticated 37 students for one academic session over their alleged involvement in criminal conspiracy, inciting disturbance of public peace and cyber stalking. Well, according to official documents obtained on Monday and January 21st, 2025, the students were sanctioned for their participation in a WhatsApp group allegedly created to organize a protest against the university's decision to introduce a third semester. Well, following the discovery, the affected students were summoned before the Students' Disciplinary Committee, the University Senate, at its 123rd regular meeting on October 31st, 2024, reviewed the committee's findings and approved the recommendation to rusticate them for the 2024-2025 academic session. Now, how the netizens take this online, let's have a couple of tweets on the story. This user says they should gather money for competent lawyers and sue the school board. Okay, that's worked up. Another user says something else. Ruby Dennis, you obviously made their stay uncomfortable. They are trying to express themselves. Instead of listening, you expelled them. What sort of country is this? It's not like you will be refunding their fees paid. Okay, well, still in this base, let's have other tweets. Well, Monel says, I thought protest is a peaceful way to appeal to the conscience of our leaders, while riot is the violent one they ought to kick against. How can a whole university choose to engage in restricting the freedom of students? Could this be the problem of English too? Because you can't tell me that same university doesn't have professors in English. Oh my goodness. Okay, so still in this bit, this user says, who snitched? I pity those that were added to the group without knowing the motive of the group. I think that's all we have on socials this morning. Evans.
Yeah, it's a good one, but this whole emphasis on English, I think
right.
we need to look at it because it is an official language. It's high time Nigeria begins to think of something that can be common, you know, something that you and I can easily communicate with, which we can have a common language that is indigenous, you know, so that we'll have issues with English language.
Right. So what do you think about the story regarding funds approved for the HIV treatment in Nigeria. Do you think the money is enough?
Well, it is not enough because it is not enough, particularly the Donald Trump issues and all that. It is not enough because when we talk about the fight against HIV, it has to start with the donation, the AIDS and all that. So I don't want to say that HIV is on the increase in Nigeria, but I think any effort that is geared towards fighting HIV is not something that anybody should go against at all.
Right. Okay.
So that's it. All right, so this is where we end the program today on behalf of my co-anchors in Abuja and also in Lagos, and also Joshua Okata in Benin here. I want to say thank you for the program. Don't forget the programs come to your way same time tomorrow, this morning on ITV. My name is Evan Zuluhoge. Goodbye and God bless you.